she'll be talking about the discovery of meteorites, and hopefully it will be very, very nice lecture as usual. So please, Selma, take the stage, inshallah.
Hello, everyone, and thank you, Professor Ilyas. I'm so grateful for your introduction, and I would like also to thank you for organizing this event. It's an honor to have the opportunity to address such a distinguished audience. Let's start.
Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready?
You can hear the sound of the video?
Yes, we do. We do, yes.
So let's go now. Imagine you go back to the early afternoon of 26th of April 1803. You live in the town of Legel in Normandy, France. You are just walking or doing your business on this day in 1803, when suddenly rocks start to fall from the sky. You would notice, right? Well, it was the presence of a town full of witnesses to more than 3,000 stones falling from the sky. It was Stone's Storm. That event finally helped the scientists to confirm that meteorites came from space. Upon hearing of this event, the French Academy of Sciences sent the young scientist Jean-Baptiste Biot to investigate that spectacular fall of stones. Biot's paper described how these stones must undoubtedly be of extraterrestrial origin, which effectively gave birth to the science of meteoritics. A few months after it was published, the idea that meteors came from space was acknowledged in the scientific community. And here in this slide, you can see a Legel here meteorite. You can see here, this is a fragment of Legel meteorite, which is an ordinary chondrite. It's a kind of a stony meteorite. This is another fragment also of the meteorite, and you can see the outside layer with a fusion crust. The fusion crust, it's a thin coating layer formed on the outside layer of the rock when it enters the atmosphere and burned. This is also another one, and you can see the date was registered here as 26 April 1803, and this is also here a cross-section of the rock. The Legel event was a milestone in the understanding of meteorites and their origins, because at that time, the existence of meteorites was harshly discussed. If they were recognized, their origin was controversial, with most commentators agreeing with Aristotle that they were terrestrial. The Legel event, that's why a physicist and musician named Ernst Chladni hesitant to publish his book. This is his book here. He was hesitant to publish his book until 1794, suggesting that meteorites came from space. One weakness of Chladni's work was that he didn't actually visit the site of the meteor fall and interview the witnesses. And I noticed that some, scientists, they are physicists, mathematicians, or sometimes musicians, so they have many talents. Maybe Professor Ilyas also, you have a hidden talent. So scientists didn't believe in meteorites until 1803. Let's go back now to the ancient civilizations and ancient cultures. Meteorites are one of the most interesting space topics that excite human curiosity to know more about the universe around us. They were appreciated and popular by some people in the past, while some considered them as messages of warning and punishment from heaven. Concepts, interpretations, and questions about these falling stones vary from era to era, from civilizations to civilizations, according to their beliefs, history, and myth, as well as their science and knowledge. For example, the Greeks and Romans believed that the appearance of comets, meteors, and meteor showers were portentous. They were signs that something good or bad had happened or was about to happen. So where we can find meteorites on Earth? Where? They could be anywhere. Earth is under constant bombardment by space rocks. When they crash and burn through the atmosphere, most of the debris lost to the oceans or in the oceans. Roughly 70% of the Earth is covered with water. Therefore, about 70% of the meteorites falling to the Earth's surface are lost in oceans, lakes, and rivers. Some are buried or gradually withered away. However, plenty of chunks of fallen meteors or meteorites are strewn across the accessible parts of the planet. Meteorites falls and finds. Thousands of meteorites have been found, and some have been seen to fall to the earth by eyewitnesses. A fall means the meteorite was witnessed by someone as it fell from the sky. A find means the meteorite was not witnessed and was found after the fact. Now, why do people search for meteorites? The goal of searching meteorites differs from one person to another. People have different perspectives and needs. So meteorites can be very valuable to scientists to study the planetary science, seal in this wonderful world, to find out some hidden scientific answers and dig deeply to understand our great universe since 4.6 billion years ago. To amateurs who have a hobby of collecting meteorites. To hunters who recover and invest in meteorites, for a living. To public who want to discover, learn, raise awareness, and increase their knowledge. So why do, as scientists, we study and analyze meteorites? They can provide important information on the origin, evolution, and history of our solar system. Help us to learn about the chemical composition of space rocks. May unlock some of the life origins secrets on Earth because some of them contain water and amino acids. Raise the awareness and study how to avoid meteorites disasters in future. Be careful. Before you plan a meteorite hunt, make sure if you find one, you'll be allowed to keep it. Check the law of the ownership of meteorites in your country of the landowner. That is in order to preserve the rights and not to waste time in other procedures, then be surprised by the existing laws. Meteorites hunting. For the meteorites hunting, find a meteorite is not an easy task, but it can be rewarding. So it can be rewarding. So as you can see here in this picture, this is one of the ways that we look for meteorites, that searching, just going by on foot in the desert, but this way is not easy. This is not easy at all because, maybe you need a lot of effort and time when you use this one. Another way of meteorite detecting is the drones and also the handheld metal detectors. Okay, as you can see here, this is the drone, okay, and the handheld metal detector. And here, you know, this is the ways of using these drones and handheld metal detector is better than the meteorite searching on foot, by, you know, like going on desert and whatever like this, because this is not expensive. Like, I mean, this is more better than the other one, and they have many advantages. Okay, let us see. So they save lives, efforts, money, and time. Take risk instead of, you know, take instead of humans. Reduction in human error, helping in repetitive jobs, digital assistance, and faster decisions. This is here one of my best photos that I always like. So because every picture tells us a story. This is a picture represents the a trip to Meleha meteorite drone search in Meleha Desert in 2018. This one is a cooperation between the UAE Space Agency and the University of Sharjah, SAASST, and also the Chiba Institute, Japanese Chiba Institute. And you can see here our colleagues in this photo. Most of them, I think, are some of them are here. Maybe they're watching themselves now in this photo. So my regards also to all of them. So before you, don't forget to smile when you take a photo. So where you can find meteorites? Many meteorites have been found in deserts where the heat and dryness have kept them from rusting away. Antarctica. The best collecting place, Antarctica, the best collecting place in the world in Antarctica, where meteorites fell on the ice and were preserved in it. Meteorites are also easier to locate in Antarctica, partly because of the contrast between dark rocks and white ice sheets. Researchers here recover more meteorites from Antarctica, but that doesn't mean more land here. Scientists here also in this picture, in this photo here, you can see that they found a meteorite and have taken pictures to document their find. Each sample is photographed, given a number and carefully packed. So how are meteorites named? A meteorite must clearly have a distinctive name from all other meteorite names and abbreviations. Should convey their geographical location or places they were found or witnessed, usually a nearby town or geographic feature. Names should be as brief as possible. If many meteorites were found in one place, the name may be followed by a number of letters. For example, as you can see here in this photo, ALH 84001, this is a Martian meteorite that was found in Allen Hills. That's why they are writing here ALH, Allen Hills in Antarctica on December 27, 1984, by a team of American meteorite hunters from the Smith project. If you want to discover an impact crater and even get named, after you, all you have got to do is spend a few hundred hours poring over images in Google Earth or Google Maps. That's exactly the geologist Arthur Hickman did. Discovered previously a non-impact crater by incident when he was searching for iron ore in the mountains of West Australia. Chemical analysis of the smashed up and melted rock showed that it contains traces of the material from an iron meteorite. And this isn't the first time a crater has been discovered using Google Earth. There are many regions hiding meteorite impacts. They are just waiting for you to find them. So how do we identify a meteorite? In the Meteorite Analysis Unit at the Meteorite Center, we test and analyze the stones which brought by national and international customers to check if they are meteorites or not. Initially, we examine the stones by a preliminary test. We check here so many things like the appearance, the magnetism, weight and density, streak test, and diffusion crust. So upon passing these tests successfully, further in-depth analysis are conducted by using advanced analytical techniques such as XRF and XRD at the Center for Advanced Materials Research at the University of Sharjah. The XRF is an excellent test to determine the sample elemental composition, while the XRD provides the sample composition in the terms of compounds and crystallographic structure. And part of our job is doing research and publications. We were honored to present our research paper, Meteorite Analysis as an Educational Tool at the Sharjah Academy for Astronomy, Space Sciences and Technology at the IAC 2021. And we highlighted the chemical composition of many meteorites and compared them with the terrestrial rocks. So finally, there is a saying that man cannot discover new oceans unless he has the courage to lose sight of the shore. So look everywhere. It could be a meteorite. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Salma, for this very nice presentation. I was going to cry when you were showing that picture that we had in Marihad Desert. So it was a very, very nice one. So very good memories about what we have done as research and also to look for meteorite with the Japanese. It was a very good experience. I believe that everyone has benefited from it. So it was 2018. Do you believe that? 4 years have passed since that time. Okay, let me now open the floor. So please, if you have any questions for Miss Salma, so please go ahead. Yusuf, we need to have another one. What do you mean by you need to have another one?
I mean that we need to go to Mariha again to look for.
To Mariha again. Why not? Yes, we'll do that, inshallah. Any questions, please, from the students? So you can write it, or you can just talk directly. What happened in France in 1803 was quite astonishing. The sky was raining meteorites, unbelievable. So it was, some people thought that it was the end of the world. It was the end of planet Earth because of all of those thousands of meteorites that fell on that small city in France. Any questions, please? Okay, I don't see any question here.
Dr. Elias, really, I'd like to thank all the audience for their patience for facing that technical issue.
There's a question here.
Yes.
Who will be the owner of meteorite?
Can I see? Who will be owner of the meteorite? You remember I mentioned one slide before regarding get permission. So it depends on the on the country. Sometimes, if they put some laws regarding this, some countries are allowed for you to keep it, but some countries, they have some laws regarding this. You have to give it back to them. So you have to ask about the laws, about the permissions, okay? Because some people are shocked sometimes that they have to give back their meteorites when they found them. So you have to be sure about this point.
Yeah, in the UAE there is a law which is that if you find, let's say, a stone in Sharjah, it belongs to the city of Sharjah. If you find a stone, let's say at the border of Sharjah, Dubai, by the UAE space law, you have to give it to the UAE Space Agency, and there they will decide about to whom that stone belongs, to Sharjah or to Dubai. So it is stated very, very well that it does not belong to you. It belongs to the state where you have found the stone. Okay, there's a question here, Selma.
Yes, I can see it. What is the difference from asteroid and meteoroids, and why it is important to research? There is a difference, of course, between the asteroid and the meteoroid. The meteoroid is a piece from the asteroid. Okay, so the asteroid, where you can find them, it's the asteroid belt, which is a belt between Mars and Jupiter. Most of the asteroids are there. Okay, so there's sometimes happened like a collision between these asteroids, and there's a piece came out. Okay, we call this piece a meteoroid, unless the rock, it's flying or swimming in the space, we call this a meteoroid. Okay, when it enters the atmosphere, it has another name, we call it a meteor, and then when it reaches the ground, we call it a meteorite. Okay, so this is another one. And why it is important to research? Of course, there is too much important points about this, because we are studying our solar system, our universe, since 4.6 billion years ago. I think the human curiosity always taking us to that point. Okay, this is one of them. And I mentioned many points regarding why do we study and analyze meteorites in one slide. What about comets? I always confuse the three.
There's a question before that.
And it means okay.
Selma.
About comets. Comets is completely different, because it's like it's like an icy stone. Okay, it's ice and stone or dust. So this is different. Okay, from meteoroid and the meteorite. And sometimes also the meteorite could be a piece of a comet. It could be. Okay, that's it, I think. Any other question?
There's a question before that. Can you own a meteorite while it is still in space? Do you lose ownership once it hits Earth?
I can't see this question, please, Victoria.
If you go backward
on
the chat.
Okay, let me check.
Before this question about comets, there's a question also. Can you go back in the chat? You can see it.
What is your favorite meteorite? Okay. My favorite meteorite type is the stony iron. It's a combination between the stone and iron meteorites. Because there are three types of meteorites. It's combination between stone and iron. It's like a piece of art, and especially there's one kind of a stony meteorite called a palisade. So I really advise you to go and check this one in the internet or in Google. It's like a piece of art, really.
Okay, let me answer that question. Can you own a meteorite while in space? Well, whatever you have in space, no one owns it. It belongs to everyone. So that's why. So even the moon, some people say you can buy part of the moon. Some people say that you can buy some stars and so on. So it is in space. It is for everyone. So you don't. It does not belong to anyone. Any other question, please? By the way, so here at the Sharjah Academy for Astronomy and Space Sciences, we have the largest collection of meteorites. You can visit us, so you can see it. We have more than 8,000 stones from different kinds. We have Martian, we have lunar, we have stony, we have iron. So we have so many types of meteorite that you can do. The largest one that we have has a mass about 1.2 tons. It is worth more than $6 million. And by the way, we have 128 cameras that you cannot even approach those meteorites. So when you come, you just come and visit and see, inshallah. Okay, so thank you very much, Selma, for this very, very nice presentation. I believe all the students did appreciate from the comments. We appreciate your comments and also your very, very enthusiastic presentation with music, with audio and so on. So it was very nice. And we thank the audience, we thank the students for attending. We thank our research assistant. So you are closing the celebration of the women and girls in astronomy. So we thank all of the research assistants, all the faculty members who have attended, who have presented something to all of us. We did appreciate your truly vocation in giving us something that we benefit a lot from it. So hopefully we will have more celebrations in the near future, especially after Ramadan, and hopefully you will be with us. Okay, so thank you very much again, and we'll see you next time, inshallah.
Inshallah. Thank you so much. Thank you for listening. Thank you so much.